Ross, man, what's good with you, brother?
Shit, man. you know, been pushing, promoting my book, and at the same time keeping the foot on the next. Keep
You
definitely
know
keeping the
what?
foot on the next. Yeah.
That book you've been promoting, it goes with your saying, man, separating the weak from the strong, brick by brick, and it also
Right.
goes synonymous with Franklin Saint saying, because I've heard him say it. I don't know if that was the motivation behind it, but I've heard him say it, man, brick
Yeah.
by brick, man. And it's the
Right.
way he says it. He says it very emphatic.
Right. Right. And that's just basically symbolizes steady progress. Steady progress in a very meticulous way. You know what I'm saying? Steady progress in a
Yep.
very meticulous way. A lot of our enemies, a lot of my enemies are starting to fall, and I'm proud to say that a lot of things we've said. What 5 years ago? How long I've been knowing you? 5 years.
Yes, sir.
A lot of things we said started to come to the forefront.
Yep.
Shit that now, shit we were saying back then is now common knowledge now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what? It wouldn't be if the groundwork wasn't set back then.
Exactly.
And this is the reason why I always love um being Machiavellian. I always love being Machiavellian because um but you can't be Machiavellian if you're too caught up in credit.
Yep.
Some credit you want, some credit you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get a certain amount of credit, then people catch on to you, then they know how to fight against you. Because oh, you
Mm-hmm.
the motherfucker who did this to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I say that to say certain groundwork was laid, steady laid,
Mm-hmm.
because believe it or not, the people who come watch you, they go other places and they take your ideas with them.
Yep.
And then they say it in the comment section. Then other people who didn't think like that, they hear it. And they take that
Yep.
conversation to the barbershops. And they
Yep.
say it there, right? And then them barbers take that shit home. They say it there. But the groundwork has been being laid for a minute. All the shit that's coming out now about Bud Crawford basically was trying to delay the fight. I knew Bud Crawford didn't want that fight a long fucking time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because he went to a place to make the fight harder to make.
Yep.
And then when Bob Arum got ready, now mind you, Bob Arum been stealing from him the whole time, because Bob Arum steals from all his fighters. But as soon as Bob Arum got ready to make the fucking fight and say, you know, it's time to make the fight. That's you know, Bud Crawford said, yeah, I would no longer be needing your services. And slid.
He put a Canelo to Oscar De La Hoya.
And slid. Now
And you could tell he pulled the same thing because they both did lawsuit. He pulled a Canelo.
he put a Canelo. Now it worked out in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he did it for this reason, even though he could take credit for doing this reason. He did it to duck Errol Spence. But that fight didn't do no numbers and didn't put no ducats in his pocket. So he still got to make this fight with Errol Spence. And nobody came crawling to get him to the table after that fight. So he had to come back. But when he comes back, he don't got to share none of his money with Bob because he cut Bob out the deal. That's the only thing that's brilliant about this.
Yep.
That's the only thing. So he don't get all his money. He don't got to share it with Bob. But that's a byproduct of him trying to duck Spence. Yep. He's a lucky nigga for that.
Lucky.
But at the end of the day, he gonna get credit for because he made that move. He gonna get credit for a genius move. And do I feel bad about Bob? No, I don't. Because Bob been jerking people around for a long fucking time now. So it's about time he built somebody up, and then at the biggest fight they leave him. It's about time. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. We're not mad at Bud for doing that shit because everybody, the chicken has to come to roost for everyone. Everyone has to deal with what they do and how they do it. And we're gonna drop names because I, was subliminal in my videos. Ross has been Machiavellian, but when we do go live, we give you guys the direct. We're gonna go first with showbiz, boxing talk.
Right.
And Ross is the reason why showbiz is exposed. What you guys are seeing as a residual effect of the real Marlo TV is the groundwork that was already laid by Tom Ross TV. And Tom Ross TV laid it years ago when he gave the comparison and said he was like Malcolm X to showbiz boxing talk being Martin Luther King. And that reference went over a lot of people's head. It was a Machiavellian reference. But basically, if you understand Martin Luther King and you understand Malcolm X was very straight. There wasn't no whiffle waffle. There wasn't no wishy-washy, because they both were being spied and investigated by the FBI. And the FBI couldn't find shit on Malcolm X other than this Negro's just too straightforward. He's just too pious. So we got to get rid of him. No. He's too dangerous. Whereas with Martin Luther King, he wasn't living up behind closed doors to what he was portraying as an image in front of people. And that's showbiz, the showbiz, the adult. He gives you an image that you want. He gives you an image that you think that you need. But behind closed doors, he really wants to identify as a black person. But because he didn't put himself out there originally as a black person, he has what's called identity crisis. So I'm going to hand the mic over to Ross, because Ross is going to break down how he was the one that set the table up so that now the real Marlo TV can go in for the kill.
One thing I noticed about him was with this channel or without his channel, he still struggles with what a black man is. He think there's a way a black man should act, when really all you have to do is be true to yourself, true to your people. You don't have to sound a certain way. You don't have to use slang if you don't want to. Malcolm X didn't use slang.
Yep.
When he was Detroit Red, he used slang. But as Malcolm X, he spoke with a high vocabulary. You don't have to do hood shit. Me, I don't try to use slang. It's just part of my vernacular. I can talk a certain way when I'm at work, but I don't talk like that all the time. I'm a common person with a high intellect, and that's strategic. When you start talking a certain way, you're telling people what you know, and then now they know how to plot against you. Yep. I want niggas to think I'm just a hood nigga so I can catch them off guard. But what I realized is this dude has identity crisis. Mm-hmm. And a lot of black people who chase around Bud and chase around the fucking top rank fighters and so against Al Heyman, a lot of them got identity crisis issues. So I played on that. I started making subliminal community posts, playing on that. Then I noticed him trying to basically show how black he was. He started dropping rap songs and showing pictures when he's like, I used to be a hood, showing pictures and shit and all that. And then it got to the point where no one was believing him, so he had to really mimic a hood nigga. And who's on the boxing saying that everybody know, and he started mimicking fucking the real Marlo TV.
Right.
He still tried to become the real Marlo TV.
Yep.
And got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Because I called him out from the beginning, saying that he's not really a real black man.
Yep.
And use a boxing term saying like he's not a Jack Johnson. He's really what's the other dude that came after Jack Johnson? Lewis? He's really a Joe Louis. Mm-hmm. He ain't a Jack Johnson. He really a Joe Louis. Using these certain terms. He ain't a Mayweather. He really a Roy Jones Jr. Everybody knows Roy Jones Jr. turned out to be a big time. You know what I'm saying? Thirsty as hell. Always talking about Russia and shit. Always talking about
basically saying I have a Russia passport. Motherfucker, you're in the U.S.
Right. Motherfucker. You take your ass out there, try to live if you want to come up this about the Russia.
Exactly.
All the fucking money you
with
got.
That war and shit going on. Motherfuckers trying to get up out of there. Motherfuckers that's from there trying to get up out of there. And your ass talking about claiming the shit. What the
fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, and the more I did that subliminally, not straight up, but just subliminally, I noticed the more he started to erode. And now, put it this way. I think in times past, he would have still held firm to Lomachenko and Canelo in times past. But because I pushed so hard on him not really being a black man, soon as they fell off, he jumped on the black bandwagon quick. But guess what? Guess what happens when you've been dogging Errol Spence for how long? Dogging Floyd Mayweather Jr. for how long? Dogging the PBC, and you jump on their tail, you jump on their ass that fast because your fighters lose. Now you look like a hypocrite.
Yep, and he didn't want to do it. He was just trying to do that to appease the subs and the views, man. That's what it was.
Right.
Because every time he tried to show you his real skin, people on his channel would say, "We don't know this showbiz, the adult." You see, this is what happens when you do shit that goes against your nature. People then start saying that's not the real you, even though that isn't the real you. They're thinking the real you is the fake you. This is why it pays off to be real from the jump.
Exactly. So this motherfucker, so I noticed the more I started picking at that, the more harder he started trying to go to prove that he was for the cause. But he always had to dial it back because basically his channel tells him how he should live.
Yep.
So then he'll dial it back. Then I'll say something or somebody else. Then it got to the point where people on his own channel start nitpicking him. Then he'll start trying to be hood. You know what I mean?
Yep. You can see the turncoat behavior in him because Dante's Boxing Nation was the reason why you're even relevant. He put you on. You would think that you would use that and run with it. No, you used that, ran with it, and then you did the biggest D Jefferson. Yeah, I'm gonna get to his ass too. You did the biggest D Jefferson shit. You're just D Jefferson on steroids. You're just basically what I would say the polished version of D Jefferson. You are D Jefferson minus the white fucking tees, minus the fucking minus the weed, minus the burnt ass white tees, minus the fucking standing at Ross flamed this motherfucker for standing at a military post, talking about he couldn't get in and trying to say soldiers are not on time. What the fuck?
Bruh, you at the wrong gate. Some gates be closed. Every gate is not open at every time. Some gates are
exactly.
Closed. What do you mean they're not on time? They not never, if they ain't there, they never come in there all day. They're the ones that open the gates. Who think open the gates up? Like he was so slow. But me personally, when I indulge with the higher form of tobacco and a higher grass, I do it through an edible. I don't want to smoke anything. And me personally, it's nothing really wrong. I'm not going to judge nobody for smoking. It was just the whole look. Okay. You got the t-shirt on, but you don't even fill out the t-shirt. You look sucking in the t-shirt. So you look like you smoke more than just weed. Because you suck.
There's nothing wrong with smoking. It's just the nigga look like he burned his white tees when he smoked.
Right. Like he put it out on his shirt. He put it out on himself and shit. And that was the thing. And then it was just like everything was very mangy with him. And it kind of took the show down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, crack body. He had a little small, big T, small body.
And y'all gotta understand why me and Ross got a lot of intel on both sides of the aisle with him, because he hated us for different reasons, and he kept trying to come at us for different reasons. And right now, is he even relevant? Does this dude even have a YouTube channel? Is he even functioning on fucking YouTube? I don't even think so.
I don't know. All I know is YouTube hated on me like 2 or 3 times with channels. And every time I come back, I surpass this nigga like right away.
Yep.
So
all these niggas that sided with him now trying to suck. They basically trying to come back and suck my dick. First of all, I don't do no homo shit over here. So don't even try to come over here with that bullshit. Secondly, it's interesting that y'all motherfuckers coming back. Faces I haven't seen in fucking years. When all y'all should have dumbass motherfuckers should have done was just stay where y'all was at. But Ross put me on game about y'all motherfuckers. That's when I knew Ross was a real friend, man. Because I remember, man, I was at Walmart. I was in Fairbanks at Walmart. I remember I was checking out this white girl's booty, man. But shit was so big. Well, Ross was talking to me, man. I halfway couldn't fucking focus. I didn't even know that ass was that ass on a white girl could be that fucking big. So I said, you know what, fuck her. And then Ross started telling me, hey man, listen, man, I'm just gonna tell you right now. He knows, like, these motherfuckers, they on these other channels, man. They talking shit, man. They trying to act like every time they come back to you, they trying to act like they cool. But these motherfuckers be running their fucking mouth. And I had liked the fact that Ross was everywhere because Ross was able to see what was going on with these motherfuckers. And they kept trying to tell me I need to chase Ross off, not realizing Ross was like the only real nigga on the fucking channel at the time. Right. And this was right before Ox really started getting heavily involved and shit like that. I was like, Ross was like the consistent motherfucker coming in, being who he was from day one, or why he got to talk about black plight, why he got to talk about black people, why he got to do this. And it got to the point one day where I was like, why the fuck are y'all worried about what the fuck he talking about? You come in and say your bullshit. So come in, let him do what he do. Let him talk the way he talk. And then this is when they got mad, when you started having the mic to be able to come in and start talking while you was on the road. That's what was pissing D Jefferson off. How this nigga could be on the road and you give him the ability to be on the panel, and me, I'm showing my face and I'm on the panel. This nigga was just hating on you even from that. And that we in our black community, we have these types of cockroachy type niggas. They look like fucking cockroaches. They sound like cockroaches and they stink like fucking cockroaches. They just hate on people that they naturally know brings out the insecurities in them. That's really what it was. Ross brought out the insecurities in him. Right. Let's keep it up.
But that's the thing about the truth. The truth. Everybody thinks the truth unites people. The truth, no, it doesn't. The truth unites lovers of the truth.
Yep.
The truth, by and large, is a divider.
Yep.
And it's gonna make people scatter. When niggas start talking the truth, you know who real, who not. By the way, they start reacting. They start squirming, right? Yep. Niggas get squirming their seats. Niggas get to popping their lips like they're a woman. They get to rolling their eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get the real antsy. Niggas talking about, you know what? I don't know about this channel, man. This channel used to be cool, but basically saying it's too much truth now.
Yep.
It's a divider, man.
This is why. That's why they don't like Errol Spence, because what's his nickname? The fucking truth. True. They don't like that shit because there's no lies in his fist, man. They don't like that shit. They want a guy who reminds them of them. The reason why they support Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford, his ideology, everything about him reminds them of those types of individuals. But Terence Crawford's already losing because we hear in his training camp that he's training to fight Errol Spence's style. Anytime you got to change up your style to try to fight someone else's style, that means mentally they've already beaten you. They just haven't beaten you in the ring yet. You've already lost.
Right.
You're going against what you've done all the way up until this point to lead you to this point. What you're basically telling everyone is you're not sure of yourself and you're not sure of your abilities. So you have to change things up. We've heard this before with Mikey Garcia when he did the kangaroo jack, started looking like a fucking kangaroo, changing shit up, eating up fucking snacks, and then got the shit beaten out of him for fucking 12 rounds.
I feel going into a fight of this magnitude, it will behoove you to have some things tucked away, some new shit. But you training to fight someone in their preferred style of fighting, and they tout it to be just as good as you, if not better than you. That's a gross miscalculation.
Yep.
The reason why Errol Spence can sit and fight is Sean Porter's staff. Errol Spence been known for a long time. He's way better than Sean Porter.
Yep.
The reason why he can sit and do if just box Mikey Garcia, because he knew, man, I can knock this nigga out whenever I feel like it. Yeah, I'll box him. But if somebody was a threat to Errol Spence would change up the way he fought a little bit.
Yep.
Because he has an IQ. And he's gonna take away whatever you do good so he could beat on you.
Yep.
So him saying he's gonna train in the Errol Spence style, let's be honest. What people don't realize is he's developed an excuse for when he loses. So he can say, you know what, I tried this new regime, I tried this new style of fighting, it didn't work for me, blase. The fact of the matter is, Bud Crawford isn't really that good defensively.
Mm-hmm.
He be getting touched every time he get into a fight. People like, man, his back foot is so crazy. No, it's not.
Nope.
Bud Crawford don't have a good back foot. He don't fight on the back foot well. Bud Crawford,
you know why his back foot is crazy? His back foot crazy because he's getting hit. So that back foot be acting up. It's like Timothy Bradley. You know, Timothy Bradley's back foot act up when he get hit.
Misbehaving.
Mm-hmm.
Terence Crawford is like a more polished with better punching place than Manny Pacquiao. His offense is his defense.
Yep.
That's his defense. Is he turns up and he throws more punches.
Yep.
But I don't have the confidence that he has the power, that he has the strength to punch down and punch through Errol Spence guard. Right. Errol Spence guard is going to be tight. His guard, Gary Russell said that a long time ago. That's very old news. His guard is going to be tight. He's not throwing rockets like that where he can just punch through his shit like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kell Brookins was a bigger, stronger welterweight.
Mm-hmm.
And he was having trouble with it.
Yep.
All Crawford could hope for is that he could catch Spence between punches. Was something he's not seeing. As far as outboxing Spence or like I tell my best friend every day, my best friend, he's going for Crawford just because he wants to be contrary. He thinks Spence is going to win, but he just wants to be contrary. And I keep telling him Crawford don't have a chance, man.
Nah, not a fucking chance at all.
He don't have a chance. If Spence come in there and works that jab like he's been working against everybody else,
yeah.
For Crawford don't know how to deal with the jab.
Yeah, I got it. I got this shit stopping in 10, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like the first 3 rounds, you're gonna see in the first 2 rounds they're gonna be filling each other out, and then there's gonna be a pivotal thing that happens in the 3rd round where Spence hits him with a shot, and it's gonna cause Crawford to go into the switch hitting, and then Crawford's gonna do his switch hitting, and then what's gonna happen is he's gonna go into a completely different stance. Then Spence gonna have to retime that shit. And then by the time round 5, round 6 hit, when Spence retimes the switch hitting, not only is Spence going to fuck up Crawford in the orthodox, he's going to also have him cornered in the southpaw. And this is going to be the first time that you see Crawford do a switch hitting, and both variations, Spence got to answer for both that shit. And then by the time 7 to 10 happens, all you're going to be seeing, like Gary Russell Jr. said, is he going to drop them dumbbells on him, dog. He just dropping them dumbbells on him. He gonna fuck around, get his ass in the corner, and drop them fucking dumbbells on him.
Well, and this is how you know a lot of people, most boxing fans are really casuals. Even the ones who go from channel to channel and should be soaking up knowledge, they're casuals too, because on most channels you don't get no boxing knowledge.
Nope.
There was a guy that was really good, but they got rid of him. His name was Wilson Caden. He was from the UK. He was breaking down fights like frame by frame. Then you got another dude that breaks down fights a little bit named Remus Boxing. And and we do our thing here. But there's very few guys that's actually breaking down fights and actually like telling you why people gonna win. These like Boxing Ego, don't get me wrong, Boxing Ego, he says his opinion, but
Boxing Ego is too busy talking about niggas V tapers and basically giving you his homo swag, where he's just letting you know he finds niggas 6-packs and 8-packs delicious. That's what he's doing.
Right, the shit crazy, man. But the point I'm making is they're casuals because the people with the big platforms don't really break down boxing. What they do is they give you a narrative.
Yep.
They give you a narrative, and they give it to you in a way where they don't really have to choose sides. So even when
Like
they
Blue Blood
lose,
Sports TV, Blue Blood Sports TV is running with a narrative to say, again, to save face for the fact that his promotional company, Black Prime, failed after one promotion. Now he's basically saying that Floyd is lining with Terence Crawford to beat Errol Spence, but there's no evidence of Floyd ever saying that. So why are you running with that narrative?
Floyd not choosing nobody, man. Floyd pushes his fighters openly with his mouth.
Yep.
But he pushes all the fights through his social media and shit.
Yep.
But openly, he pushes who? Javante Tank Davis.
Yep.
That's his personal fighter. So people be like, well, Floyd don't do this, Floyd don't do that. Floyd, you see Floyd after Errol Spence fights a lot talking to Errol Spence. He just don't push him like that because low key, let's be honest, it's business. Number one. Then number two, you got to think about it. You got to think about it. When do Floyd do anything outside of his job description for free?
Exactly.
If you want that extra shit that Tank getting, you're gonna have to kick in that money. But you're your own promoter. That's your job. I'm gonna allow you to do your job. He's not hating on him. This is how Floyd works.
And Floyd's doing what Jordan used to do with Kobe, because that's how it is when you pass the torch. They still that little competitive thing going on.
Yeah.
But it's not competitive like I'm hating. It's competitive in the sense that guy right there, you know, he's the next. So I'm going to say subliminal shit to keep him on his edge. But if you read between the lines, Floyd is kind of telling you who he's leaning towards, because he said, when I sparred Errol, I had to fight.
Yeah.
When Bud fight Errol, he just gave Bud a warning. When you fight Errol, that shit you doing ain't going to work. You're going to have to fight out the gate. If you read between the fucking lines, he's letting you know who he's siding with. But a lot of niggas don't read between the fucking lines.
Yeah. You got to fight. And then you got to understand one thing. A definite who gonna win from Floyd could mess up the whole betting line.
Yep.
Floyd can't be super. That's why they need to stop asking these guys his opinion in public.
Mm-hmm.
You know they can't really give you their opinion because it's gonna fuck the betting line up. So stop doing it. Floyd can't just come out and say, "Man, Errol Spence gonna beat the shit out of him." Then who gonna buy the fight if Floyd say that?
Exactly.
Because if Floyd say that with his expertise, people gonna automatically say, "Man, what's used to buying this fight, man?"
Exactly.
Floyd can't say that. Some little guy you already know, some little young boxer you ain't heard of, got 3 fights. He can say whatever he want to say.
And that's why you got the 2 guys that run boxing from a perfection standpoint. They've mastered the art of how to deal with the media. It's not just Floyd, Andre Ward. That's why you see Andre Ward say 50-50. Andre Ward is not 50-50 like everybody else. Andre Ward is going to give you the politically correct answer because Andre Ward knows he's going to win. But if he does tell you, because he's Andre SOG Ward, motherfuckers going to say, man, SOG said this motherfucker going to win. And that goes everything around. So Ross is right about that. That's why you see those 2 guys, they're very taboo on how they respond. Very taboo.
It affects the bottom line and it affects Vegas when certain people say that. That's the reason why if these guys are smart, ask them something else.
Yep.
Ask them in a roundabout way. Don't ask them straight up who gonna win. That's so it's like you get a chance to interview the greatest fighter who ever lived, or arguably one of them, depending on where you stand. And that's how you present your questions. You don't have the mindset to know that whether he feels so way or not, he can't really say.
Yeah.
To maybe the day of the fight, right before the fight.
Yeah.
The niggas are already bought their tickets and shit. Mm-hmm. Floyd cannot say that, man, Errol Spence gonna beat the shit out of this man. He can't do that.
Yep.
He be fucking up everything if he do that.
Yep. Matthew, man, you know what I'm eating, man? I'm eating that Costco bird, man. That shit tastes better when you leave it in the fridge and you rewarm that motherfucker up, and it's $5. That's what I'm eating. That damn Costco bird. But yeah, man, go ahead and get you a bird, dog. Go ahead, Ross.
Yeah, man. So and that's the big thing people have to realize is um a lot of times these interviewers put guys on the spot. They don't understand the boxing game. And a lot of guys who know boxing are put in the spot to look like either they're selling out or they look like they hate on somebody, but really, truth be told, they just can't say it.
Yep.
They just can't say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It is what it is because their opinion is it weighs too much.
It weighs. Those guys are airfield fighters. If they say something, they're gonna think, damn, this is the same Andre Ward that crippled Kovalev, man. He crushed the crusher. So his opinion has weight. This is Floyd. Floyd fucked up Manny Pacquiao. He fucked up Canelo. I mean, so much to the point, niggas is using his blueprint to beat Canelo. Look at Dimitri Bivol. So, you know, the Mayweather, the Mavinci code, those guys, if they start weighing in, it's going to be a problem. But what you're going to see at the end is those guys are going to say, I already knew. You'll see after Errol Spence win, then they'll say at the end, I knew Errol was going to get it because then they knew. But here's the thing. If you go back, this is how you know how Floyd and Andre Ward knows Errol's going to thrash Crawford. Go look at Terence Crawford when he was at the Hall of Fame and go look at Floyd and Andre Ward's body language. Andre Ward kept asking Terence Crawford the same question over and over again. That shit went over Terence Crawford's head. He was like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Why are you here? Like, I didn't expect you to be here, man. It's a surprise. But what he's trying to tell this nigga is, why the fuck are you accepting a retirement speech and you're active? And then Floyd was basically telling him, hey, don't you need to be training or something? He wasn't catching the shit that these motherfuckers was saying to him. But everybody else there was like, oh, bud, giving him a hug, you know, like James Toney, giving him a hug. Yeah, you remind me of me. Of course he reminds you of you. He's going to be punch drunk just like yo rabbit ass.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, truth be told, Bud really don't have any fans. And this is the politics of boxing. Because people, we know it's a science, we know it's an art, but people don't realize is the business is politics. It's 3D. The politics of boxing could say Lomachenko is on a Hall of Fame course. But he gets 17-3. What black fighter could be 17-3 be on the way to the Hall of Fame?
Exactly.
Let's be honest, man.
When Adrian Broner had 3 losses, they were already saying Adrian Broner was a has-been. And this is AB that had quality losses now, not bullshit losses. He didn't lose to no fucking Orlando Salido. He lost to a Marcos Maidana. He had 3. He lost to a Sean Porter. This nigga had 3 quality losses, and they say he was a has-been.
And let's be honest. Majority of his biggest fights, he won.
Yep.
The majority of Lomachenko's biggest fights, he lost, man. He lost. Now Terence Crawford. Everybody all of a sudden a Terence Crawford fan. Why? Because they hate Errol Spence, and they hate Errol Spence because they hated Floyd.
Facts.
If there was so much Terence Crawford fans, like everybody act like they is on Twitter, on Facebook, they come out the woodwork. How come they don't buy his fights? Y'all his fans, right? Why y'all buy his fights? Yep. Why is he number 1 pound for pound fighter? Why is he fighting on free TV?
Yep.
I like to disagree. That fight is too close for somebody to be robbed. Too close for somebody to be robbed.
I agree.
Loma needed to do better. If he wanted to be an undisputed champion, the fight shouldn't have been that close.
I agree. The robbery is a stretch. Fight was so close. That fight was so close. If Devin Haney knows what's best for his career, run that motherfucker back.
Yeah.
Because Andre Ward said it too. Andre Ward said, I don't want to hear the narrative of robbery, but Devin Haney knows deep down, as close as that fight was, that's the only logical option for him to run that fight back with Lomachenko. When you have an airfield fighter tell you that, you better fucking listen.
You pretty much got to do it.
You got to do it because he's letting your ass know you didn't look good So you need to run that motherfucker back to make it more definitive. And he's helping you because he's saying, I think Devin Haney will create more separation in the second fight. So he's helping you out.
Yeah.
He's trying to boost your confidence.
The problem with the boxing community is, as a community, there's no longer individual thought. There's either I believe this narrative or I believe this narrative. There's nobody taking this narrative, listen to him and say, you know what? This is what I think about it. Listen, me and HeKnows don't agree on everything.
Nope.
We have a direction that we're going, and we going there together.
Yep.
But sometimes niggas take right, niggas take left, niggas take diagonals. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is going in the same direction, but the degree of separation could be differently. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But why I say that to say this? There's no individual thought. And
Ross is right. Ross is right because, man, we'll see each other's texts. I know I'm thinking it, so I know he's thinking it. We'll be like, all right, nigga, I got you. And then we move on.
Right.
I'm still going to do me, but we move on. At the end of the day, we brothers. It is what it is. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Right. You don't have to agree on everything, man. And so the problem is nobody's really thinking. If this dude is number one pound for pound, if he's supposed to be on Errol Spence level, and he got all these fans, why is he fighting on free TV? And why is his numbers on free TV barely better than people numbers on pay-per-view? Pay-per-view is a separate entity that you got to go in an app or you got to go in a device and say, I want to buy this. You got a channel, ESPN, that's free. And the numbers is barely better than people who actually paying for the shit. That means you're nowhere near the star that they are.
Yep.
Because the Errol Spence fight on pay TV, you talk about 2 to 3 million people, easy. Every time you fight, no matter who you fight, nobody know who. No, he don't have real fans. What he has is Errol Spence haters.
Matthew, I'm gonna tell you right now, if they go back to 15 rounds, Errol Spence is gonna look even better. And a lot of people that fight Errol Spence, if they go 15 rounds with him, their career is going to be even worse. I'm going to be honest with you. 3 more rounds of a nigga punishing you, that's not a good look.
Errol Spence might kill him, man.
Yep.
There's a reason why they went to 12 rounds, because niggas was dying.
Yep.
If you ain't never fought 3 rounds, you shouldn't be saying boxers need to go to 15 rounds. That shit was inhumane when they was doing that.
Yeah.
It was like they was fighting slaves, man.
Yeah, man. It was just beating niggas. Niggas was concussed.
Right.
Niggas' brains was just fucked. It was turning to mush quick. You talking about 5 years into it.
I hate people who just like to see brute violence and don't respect the fighters. They don't respect the sport. They think the fighter's supposed to fight for nothing. I just want to see a fight, make the fight. I don't care who gets paid. I can't stand people like that. Find some. Go watch the UFC. They don't pay those guys nothing.
Yep.
Go watch them, man. But get away from boxing, because every fighter deserves the payday they're supposed to get, because you could die. In UFC, niggas ain't dying. In boxing, people die in the amateurs every year.
Yep.
Boxing could kill you. So these guys, they deserve the money they get, and they also deserve to get treated like human beings, man.
I digress to Ross, and I digress to Oxtail, because them niggas put on gloves. I never put on gloves. So I'm always going to digress to a person who's put on gloves.
That's it. It's different. So yeah, I believe boxers need to be humanized, man. And when people be like, man, they just need to go to 15 rounds. Like, bro, try fighting 3 rounds.
Yep.
Get your ass in there. You get in there with Errol Spence for 3 rounds. They just said, none of us need to be in there for 15 rounds with this monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that, man.
And you know what's funny about that is this, and it's very simple. 15 rounds would not be conducive for guys like Deontay Wilder, Gervonta Tank Davis, Errol Spence. These guys will kill you.
Right.
You know, you get 15 rounds with these guys with their power and their brutalizing abilities, they're killing you in the ring. So 15 rounds don't help nobody. 15 rounds actually make those guys that much more strong. The Charlo brothers, they don't get enough credit for this shit. But these motherfuckers come in every fight in shape, bro. I have not seen the Charlo brothers ever not come in a fight in shape, even when they had a hard fight. Mm-hmm. And you giving Jamal and Mel 15. Oh my gosh. I just thinking about this shit. The second time Mel beat Tony Harrison, you could hear Tony Harrison yelling in the 11th round. Now imagine 4 more rounds of that shit. It's like Mel was possessed in that fight. The way he was beating up Lubin, the way Maul was beating up what's that motherfucker? JR or whatever his name is, the motherfucker from Philly.
J-Rock.
Yeah, J-Rock. The way he was beating J-Rock's ass, you imagine 15 rounds of that shit? The way Jamal Charlo was beating up Sergey Derevchenko for 12 rounds, 15? Come on, man. Some fights don't need those extra rounds, man. Those guys would just be brain damaged the fuck up.
Because most boxers aren't built to go 15 rounds. Put it this way, all those decision fights you seen Floyd Mayweather win towards the end of his career, they would have been knockout victories. Because very few people could be in the ring with Floyd that long. And Floyd stayed strong the whole fight. So a lot of those decision wins would have been KOs if they were doing 15 rounds.
Yep.
As soon as they would have got tired, he would have got their ass out of there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I keep telling people, man, don't worry about things that's out of your control. Worry about the rounds they need to be going, or worry about guys aren't. Some people want to see guys take punishment. Boxing is bigger than guys taking punishment. Sometimes the best fight is like watching Kung Fu. When you watch a Kung Fu movie, people barely get hit.
Honestly, I don't want to see Bud take punishment. I just want Bud. I want Bud to realize when Errol is punishing him to just say, all right, fuck it. Even if he don't want to do it, his team to say, fuck it. We want this guy to live to see another day. And don't make the Mikey Garcia mistake. Because if you make the Mikey Garcia mistake, you're going to get retired. That's why Mikey Garcia lost in a fucking exhibition bout against a fighter that was removed from the sport for 13 plus years. Go look at the exhibition bout. He was getting done up by a guy who was retired for 13 plus years. Spence fucked him up that bad. Do you guys really want to see Terence Crawford like that? That's why Terence Crawford, I don't give a fuck what mentality, whatever. His team better throw that fucking towel. Bud better, Bomac better have 5 towels ready to throw that shit in to save this man so he can see another fucking fight.
The point I'm making is, if somebody take damage, then they take damage. The point I'm making is, watching boxing for the simple fact you want to see somebody take damage is the reason why you don't understand boxing. Because a good fight don't mean these niggas is giving each other damage. A good fight could mean they both defensively responsible, and then they have trouble catching each other. It's like back in the day when you watch Kung Fu flicks. Niggas wasn't just getting hit over and over. They blocking everything. And then finally somebody hit somebody. Boom. And that hit, because you've been waiting for that shit for so long, that hit is like 100 hits.
Honestly,
then they go again. Then they go again. Bow. Then somebody get hit. That's really intelligent fighting.
Facts.
But you expect to see people just standing in a ring and just give each other brain damage, and you think that's not boxing.
A good fight is Mayweather. Any Mayweather fight's a good fight, even though people say it's boring. The reason why I say that, and it's not boring, is because it's boxing. Boxing, the art of boxing is hit and don't get hit. So good fighting is actually watching Mayweather, because Mayweather is giving you the pugilist style of the sport.
Right.
When you see guys like Gervonta Davis, guys like Errol Spence, guys like Deontay Wilder, they spoil you guys. They give you guys a combat sport variation of boxing because they are big punchers. And they come in and then they wash these guys in a way to where you, in your mind, you're thinking, well, this is what it's supposed to look like. Guys are supposed to get brutalized. No, the actual element of boxing is hit and don't get hit. So when you're actually watching Floyd fight, That is boxing at its highest level.
Right. And even with the guys who devy out punishment, a lot of them are actually displaying boxing skill and technique, but because you're so tied into the physicality of it, you miss it. Setting somebody up for a clean knockout is boxing. The way Deontay Wilder sets you up for, he doesn't just swing wildly. When he throws that right hand, he set you up for that punch. That's boxing. Mike Tyson didn't just swing wildly. Mike Tyson was pivoting, catching you while you pivoted. It's basically the equivalent of back in the day when we went to war. The Navy, contrary to popular belief, the Navy was winning the majority of the wars. The Army and the Marines was going in and fucking everything up that the Navy didn't destroy already. But on the water, what they would do is they'll meet each other, get it sight to sight, and then they'll maneuver to try to catch each other on the broad side so they can hit them with whatever missiles or cannons or whatever. They wanted to catch them when they're like this and the other ship is like this. That way they got more to hit. So boxing, you want to pivot and try to catch the other guy before he can pivot, and so you got more of his body to hit. That's essentially what it is. And nobody did that better at a knockout variation than Mike Tyson. The way he was pivoting, he was boxing the whole time and never got credit for it because people don't understand boxing. They only understand the physicality of it. All they were saying was Mike Tyson a knockout puncher, but all those knockouts were set up by pure boxing.
Exactly.
George Foreman in the beginning of his career wasn't. He was just walking in the ring and just pummeling people.
Yeah, because at that point, George Foreman was like, I'm just big.
I'm big and strong.
Fuck all that. I got power. Yeah. Fuck all that shit where I just want to move around and shit like that. I can't do that no more. And I got power, so I'm just going to pummel niggas.
He didn't know how to really box until after he took that loss with Muhammad Ali and he came back.
Yep.
When he came back, that's how he was beating these young guys.
Actually, some of his best boxing was in his older years, man. He was boxing niggas up.
In his older years. That's when he became a better boxer. You know what I'm saying? And he had to be because had he fought the same way he fought back then, he would have got beat up very bad.
Oh, he would have got knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys like Riddick Bowe, you got guys like, Evander Holyfield, you got guys like Lewis. I mean, come on, he would have got knocked out. And Evander Holyfield doesn't get enough credit because people look at him as the guy. He does throw the headbutt, but Evander Holyfield can box, man. That's how he beat up Mike Tyson. Like, he is a technical boxer. Like, he's very fundamentally sound. And this is what Errol Spence was talking about when he said, I'm the Tim Duncan and Terence Crawford is the Kevin Garnett. I got that reference immediate. Ross got that reference immediate. Ox got that reference immediate. Yeah. Because if you notice the matchups between Tim Duncan, and you know why that reference was hit home so hard, is because Tim Duncan is with the San Antonio Spurs. It's Texas. So it's like extra hard. And then that this man is fundamentally sound, and this is why he's the greatest at what he does. And Garnett, early on, remember when Garnett was athletic as fuck? He wasn't winning shit. Garnett actually needed the help of fucking Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. He needed more of that. Whereas Tim Duncan, he was already that dude. And then you just added these guys, and then he was winning on top of that. I just wanted to say that real quick.
The reason why I love that is because I've been saying that about Errol Spence. That he's fundamentally superior. He's like Tim Duncan. But the really beautiful thing about that is he's self-aware. Yep. And he knows that.
Yep.
And when you know that you're self-aware, that means he's confident in that. You can't goad him out of it. You can't Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard goad him into doing something he don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because Sugar Ray Leonard, this is where I say that he's not the greatest. The greatest don't fight your fight. And it's a big fight, and y'all on the same level. The greatest fight, they have to fight to win. When they fight against somebody that's on the same level as them, they don't play. And he let somebody who didn't even have a command of the English language get him out of his fight mode.
Yep.
Make him fight his fight. And he still did good, by the way. I always thought that fight was a draw. But he took an L. Wanted to watch. Up until that point, most of his fights weren't that close.
Fact.
So he took an L that night in a very close fight.
Yep.
And it was no robbery.
Yep.
So it was a close fight. Let's get that clear. But it would have never been no close fight had he fought. That's why I said Floyd Mayweather would have got the job done the first time.
Yep.
That's the reason why I say Sugar Ray not better than Floyd. Floyd get the job right the first time. Errol Spence get the job right the first time. And the only time Errol Spence play with you, but he know he's superior than you. But guess what? Errol Spence had the mindset now, he ain't playing with nobody no more.
You know, Floyd trying to corner the market. You know, Floyd, after his exhibition fight, I just wanted to say this, Ross. I think Floyd is trying to correct what Tyson and Roy Jones and them could do. Remember, they tried to use let's use the elder statesman fighters and bring them back. Well, Floyd is cornering that market because him and Sugar Shane Mosley too is being talked about right now. And I think Floyd is going to do well again in that arena of bringing back elder statesmen's variations of those fights and make them entertaining. That's my opinion on that.
Right. Well, one thing I realized about this motherfucker, and he reminds me of one of my best friends, like as far as his execution. Whenever my best friend decides to do something, he does it the best. Like, and he won't do it. The problem I have is he won't do it until he can do it the best. Like he won't gradually get better at doing nothing. He just won't do it at all until he figured it all out. And sometimes that takes too long. But when Floyd finally says I'm about to do something, he'll do it better than everybody else. Like all boxers been doing the exhibition shit. That's been a thing just from the beginning. When they couldn't fight no more competitively, they did exhibition bouts. Floyd by far did that the best.
Yep.
With the fights he made. Big, huge fights and shit. You know what I mean? So I have no doubt if he steps into that market, it's going to make more money than it ever made before because every time he does something, he takes it to the next level. But back on Spence, because this is Spence real. This is what Floyd's doing right now. The reason why I'm gonna cover a lot of shit that he does right now is because everybody else is covering it, and I want the major spotlight to stay on Spence.
Yep.
Because Floyd had his time, and Floyd's not wrong. Because he deserved the right to do what he did. Because let's be honest, Floyd saved boxing.
Yep.
He deserves the right to do what he did, but just him being him could take shine.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna help that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna help that. I'll touch it every now and then, but I want to stay on Spence and stay on Devontae Tate Davis because they're the ones that's active right now. And, you know what I'm saying? So and with that being said, Errol Spence is not gonna play with Bud, and I see this being the this is the nail that's gonna hammer Bud Crawford's career shut. This fight right here, Bud Crawford will never be the same again after this fight.
Errol's gonna have the best performance of his career. I honestly believe that he's gonna have the best performance of his career ever, because he's gonna make a statement. This is gonna be a fight because he understands the magnitude of this fight. He understands what this fight means for legacy, and what you guys are gonna see because people don't understand the hangover of it. At the end of the day, Terence Crawford is a fellow Hebrew. I'm gonna be worried. Don't be surprised. I'm gonna be running a live concurrent with another live. The live that I'm gonna be running with Ross is we're obviously gonna be celebrating Errol Spence, but we're gonna be running another concurrent live that we've been talking about because I really want to check in on Terence Crawford's mental welfare. Like that's very important to me. People could laugh that shit off, but he's gonna be on suicide watch. I have to watch him. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you have to understand the psyche that Terence Crawford has had his whole boxing career. A psyche of a guy who's never lost, a psyche of a guy who's always won, a psyche of a guy who's always beat people. That's one of the most dangerous psyches to have because what happens when you lose? What happens when you get exposed? What happens now when you have all of these people, even people in your hometown that's going to be laughing at you? They're going to be like, damn. And then you got to go back to Omaha, and Omaha's a small town. See, when you go back to these small towns, the pressure is way worse than when you're in a big town. Because you're in a big town, you kind of hide. You know, you could kind of get away. When you're in a small town, it's a small community. You got to deal with motherfuckers in your face saying, man, you let Omaha down, man. You know, they're gonna be coming out the side of your house, man. How the fuck trying to throw tomatoes at you and shit like that? Like, there's gonna be a lot of this shit going on. It's kind of like LeBron. When LeBron left Akron, you saw what they did. They burned his jersey. This is what these small towns do. So Terence Crawford is really, if I was him, at the end of that fight, I would stay at Vegas for a good year. I wouldn't even go back to Omaha, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. You have to let that shit die down, because he won't be able to handle the hangover effect that's happening with him from a mental standpoint. Because to win all of this time and then to lose, and not only, and here's the thing, to know that Errol Spence was the guy that exposed the type of fighter you were, that you fought trash opponents, that you really didn't fight nobody, and when you finally fought somebody that was real, he damaged you. You guys have to understand the hangover that comes with this shit.
People don't realize boxing is not like every sport, man. It's an intimate physicality. There's no helmets on. There's a level of I don't know you, you don't know me in football. There's a level of what's the word? Anonymous. There's a level of being anonymous in football, really.
Yep.
There's no.
You talking about anonymity?
Yeah, right. And even in amateur boxing, there's a level of that too.
Mm-hmm.
But in boxing, in professional boxing, there's me and you on the stage in front of the whole world, a pay-per-view event. This is what your whole career has been summed up to. And this is why a lot of guys, when they lose, you see them. It's not normal for a guy to lose and to get beat badly and to not have an excuse, but to not make an excuse. Typically, whether they have an excuse or not, or a reason for why they lost, they're going to make one anyway because it's hard for their pride to take the fact.
Facts.
Because a lot of people don't understand their true value and what the people have been saying about them to push them. Bob Arum doesn't promote the fight. All he does is get you on the top 5. But that used to on pound for pound. That used to sell fights 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Being on the pound for pound now don't sell fights no more. Because the people got smarter. They don't believe you. The reason why Bud can't sell no fights, but Tank Davis can, because people don't believe Bud.
They don't.
They don't believe the pound for pound. The pound for pound got no credibility no more.
Nope. That's a well executed, well said point. Because if they really believed him, you would have saw it in the turn up. The turn up that lets you know that they don't believe these people.
Right. They don't believe him. That's the reason. That's the only reason why this fight is going to sell so much, because people have been waiting for it so long. And it's an undisputed fight. They played this perfectly. But if this was the first fight that Errol Spence was fighting, instead of him if he still had Ugas and another welterweight to knock off before he got undisputed, and this was like the second notch on his belt for this fight wouldn't be this big. Yeah, because it's Bud. It wouldn't be this big. The only reason why it's this big because people have been waiting for it forever. It's an undisputed fight, but it's not because Bud is this big star.
Yeah,
it's not because people really believe Bud that good. Because when you that good, people want to see you fight against anybody.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something, Ross. I'm gonna be like the only one to say this, and Ross, I know he'll disagree with me, but he'll understand my position on this. I don't like the press conference, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't like it. Because I feel like the press conference, if they're not careful with making sure they keep these two apart, the press conference could be a way for Bud to duck. Because Errol already told Bud, if you try to push or you try to do this, I'm gonna fuck you up at the press conference. And if Errol fuck around, hit this motherfucker, that's a way for Bud to get out the fight. I don't like what I'm hearing with that because in the press conference, what they need to do, they need to make sure that there's a visor in between the both of guys, even when they do the face off. They need to do that because this fight is too big. The magnitude of it is too much to be having these niggas do a brawl at a press conference that can actually fuck up the fight.
Right, that could get one of them injured and shit.
Yeah, they get one of them injured because Bud is looking for anything to get out this motherfucker. I mean, you get this motherfucker any little thing. Well, Ross was talking about this nigga trying to get out. He looking for anything to put that shit to be
surprised. Still to this day, I'm not super hyped about it. Yep. If you look at my channel, I'm not throwing like a lot of videos out about this shit because I still got a part of me that don't believe it.
Yep.
Because it don't believe it. It all depends. I can't take a sneak peek into his finances to see. But if his finances a certain way, that he's not gonna play with this fight because he needs the money. But I don't know what his finances is. But all I know is he, time and time again, has made it so he has made it hard to make this fight.
Yep.
Which that showed he never wanted this fight.
Yeah.
And
this press conference is very dangerous because this press conference can get Bud to weasel out of the shit. Because here's the thing. Errol fuck around, hit him. Bud gonna get paid. Because Bud could sue and say I got hit and get paid. And then this shit creates a whole fucking whirlwind. And then now we as fight fans are sitting here like, damn, we're not getting the fight that we want. And Bud is going to have a legitimate thing that he can hide behind. It's going to be a stupid level, advanced level of ducking. But I'm like the only one that's saying this shit. But Ross understands the genius behind it because Ross has been saying this motherfucker never wanted free smoke. I don't like the press conference, but for that reason. So if they do have the press conference, they both need to be completely apart. I'm sorry. They don't need to be no face-to-face. They could talk their shit, but they need to be completely apart so that way there's not going to be no hands thrown, no none. So Bud don't fucking duck because Bud is looking for any reason to get out this fucking fight. Any fucking reason. And don't give him a reason
to. Any reason, man. And that's the thing. That's the thing when you're dealing with a fighter who's hypocritical, right? Who's hypocritical and kind of lives a facade. Bud lives such a facade that when he's talking, you can't even believe shit he's saying, man.
Facts.
Even when you're trying to believe it, it's such a facade that it oozes.
Yep.
It oozes fake.
Yep.
It oozes fox.
Yep.
Fox leather. You know what I mean? It oozes unrealistic, it oozes lack of articulate. He's not genuine when he speaks at all. There's no he's not genuine at all. And so that lets me know that a lot of the shit he doesn't even believe in. He's doing this shit for the so-called fans he thinks he has.
Facts.
He's saying the things for the so-called fans he thinks he has. He don't believe he can win this fight, man. Because Bud
opening a Pandora's box by talking about his finances. Because I think, Ross, you have something there. You have platinum there when you said that. I think his finances, that's the reason why his finance got so bad. He needs this fucking fight, bro. That's what I think it is.
Right.
I think you opened up platinum when you said that because it had to get to a point to where he spent that money up so much because, he got a whole bunch of people. He don't have an entourage, but he got a whole bunch of family. His ass too Omaha oriented. That money done ran dry. He wasn't really getting big paydays like that. And he knows this is going to be the payday. And I think his ass just did this just to get fucking paid.
The retirement. A lot of people don't realize is that the challenge that you're running for in life, if it's meant to be, you can't run fast enough, man.
Yep.
If there's things in your life that you're gonna have to do, there's things about you you're gonna have to change. Woo. There's levels you're gonna have to reach, and you might feel comfortable and content where you at. But if that's not where you're supposed to go, God will send you whatever He needs to send you to get you going where you need to go.
And see, what Ross is basically saying is God ran Terence Crawford right back to Errol because Terence was trying to run away. God was like, nope, this your fate. It's your fate.
It's fate. It's his fate to fight this fight.
Yep.
He went all the way out of his way not to fight this fight.
Yep.
This is how you know he was trying to duck Errol. People think things just happen.
Yep.
No. Things happen here first, your subconscious.
Facts.
Then your body acts it out. So a lot of times before you cheat or before you do some fucked up shit, you've already been thinking about it. You've been.
And there's a scripture for what Ross is saying is out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
you've been already struggling with this thing. Niggas don't just cheat. Niggas start fantasizing about women first. Then they cheat. You know what I'm saying? Might start watching too much porn, knowing you got your old lady. Then get to the point you ain't even fucking your old lady no more. Then you cheat. You know what I'm saying? So the problem is when they first had a little face off, it was a fight. I think Errol had on red and what's the name had on black.
Yep.
Terence Crawford said, when it's time to fight, you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say you've been at 147 too long, and you shouldn't take this fight. He just got to 147, so he already knew. He already knew he's gonna try to weigh out this fight all the way to where Spence might could be weight drained. That was the whole thing.
People miss what Ross just said. They missed it.
That was
you got to say that one again, bro. They missed that shit.
His whole thing was to duck. He never, like I tell people, man. Listen. If God didn't bless me anything else, He blessed me with good judgment. Because most of my friends are dead in jail. I got 2 real close friends. Good judgment and discernment, man.
Yep.
I be knowing things, just knowing them.
Yep.
I knew from the gate, because when you want something, if me and HeKnow's in a room and we want to fight, nobody's going to be able to break up that fight.
Yep.
They gonna get tired. We gonna keep trying to get to each other till we fight.
Yep.
When you really want to fight somebody, you don't go out your way not to make the fight.
Yep.
That's number one. Then, because it's in the back of his mind what he's gonna do or what his desire to happen, he's saying little things in this interchange that tells you all you need to know. He said, and I hope you don't think you're gonna go to the body. Basically, he's saying, please don't go to the body, man.
Yep.
Let me try to deter him from going to the body, because that's not my strong suit.
Yep.
Then the nigga said, man, when I win, you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say that I kept you at the weight class way too long. They're gonna say you stayed at the weight class too long. But mind you, he had just came to 147. If you're trying to fight Errol Spence, then why are you even saying that that's going to happen? Why are you not making the fight?
Yep.
So he already knew he was going to do that. The problem is he didn't think Errol Spence was still going to be here.
Yep.
He thought Errol Spence still going to be getting big drunk all the time, still going to be chasing bitches all the time. He didn't know Errol Spence was going to buckle down, get a nutrition, get a nutritionist.
Yep.
He didn't know that.
Yep.
He ain't know that.
Yep.
And this how you know he was trying to stall the fight. Errol Spence was out of boxing down there 2 years, a little over 2 years.
Yep.
He ain't do anything to progress along the way to get that fight. He ain't even try to get the WBA belt.
Yep.
To make the undisputed happen.
Because he knew if he made any progression, it would have been that much closer to undisputed. Let's keep it a buck. It would have sped up the process.
And that's why I'm saying, how can somebody be a Bud fan over Errol? I mean, you could be a Bud fan, but how? Because you could be somebody's fan and still know somebody else better than them. But how can somebody say Bud better than Errol Spence when he had opportunity and time to show it and never did?
And I'm gonna say one thing, because that's what I saw. A shark always sees blood. It's not by coincidence that Errol wore red. That was actually divine intervention. He's a shark. All the sharks see is blood. So when he wore red, he was letting you know this is how this shit is going to end up. Notice how he was talking. He was talking in a megalodon shark obliteration fashion. He said, "You too light in the ass. I will stop you." He's basically letting you know I'm talking like a shark. All I see is blood. Then when he said, "Damn, you went how many rounds? 12 rounds with this one-legged guy. What did I do as sparring with him? I washed him." He's talking like a shark. Every time he's talking to this nigga, he's talking to him like a shark. He said, "I put everything on it. I even put my mama on it. I'ma stop you." He's talking like a shark.
Right.
Niggas be missing the key shit that me and Ross be catching. The whole time he's talking like a shark, and he's wearing the red. The red is representative of a fucking shark, because what does sharks see when you put blood in the water? Red, and they kill. They in fucking kill mode. You better not throw no blood. You better not sear no blood in that damn water, and the shark is around, it is motherfucking over, man.
And this is the thing, man.
And on top of that, Errol was so ready to snap on Bud, he snapped on his friend, and you could tell Errol is such a shark. The friend shut the fuck up. You better tell that nigga to shut up. You better tell Errol was ready to snap on that nigga, man.
Yeah, because he was chiming in the background, two men talking, ain't nothing to do with you.
Yep.
But your homeboy supposed to know that.
Yep.
Your homeboy, the people you have around you show you what type of person you is. I remember last time I was home in Chicago, my baby mother hit me up with some fugazi, goofy ass shit. Basically trying to control my whole time I was in Chicago, trying to monopolize my time and dictate to me what I was gonna do. And my homeboy, my homeboy driver, I'm in the passenger seat. My homeboy's hearing her and her husband talk reckless and shit. He getting visibly upset, but he don't say not one word.
Yep.
Why? Because it's not his business to get in that unless I say something. Say he could get in it. It's not his, so he don't say a goddamn thing. The type of people you surround yourself by show you what type of person you is.
Exactly.
Your homeboy's supposed to know when you talking. You and him is the ultimate officers in the room. Y'all the ones that fight for a living. These niggas don't.
Yep. They don't.
Y'all talking on the same. They ain't supposed to be talking, man. Not
so to show you Bud is a beta because Bud is his fighting style is shoe shining, right? So he gonna be around some shoe shining niggas that's gonna be shoe shining their fucking mouth.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. Because when Earl G checked Bud was trying to dance. This is how you know. Ross has had this happen in front of him. I happen to have when we talk about our stories and shit. Have you? I want to know in the comment section if niggas have had this happen to them. I've had niggas dance in front of me, man. That people don't understand the body language behind that, but when guys dance in front of other guys, it's an emasculating thing. It's like they know you're the dominant person, so they got to do inferior or recessive shit to remind that you're the dominant person in the fucking room.
Right.
Bud was doing the stanky leg in front of Errol, man. Y'all didn't catch these things. Y'all got to be catching the body language. Errol was in full masculine frame, and Bud broke masculine frame and went feminine as fuck.
Yeah, why you doing that?
Do the stanky leg.
Why you doing that? Even if you're the dancing that thing, this ain't no club. This not the time and place for that. But like
this
he
is
said,
two niggas squaring off.
But like he said, body language tells the whole story. Words say sometimes niggas sit and lie all day.
Yep.
So you can't just go off words. But body language say a lot of things. You got to understand something shit about body language. Errol Spence was barely even facing him. He was turning to face him, say what he got to say, and looking off. It was him giving his full attention to Errol Spence.
Yep.
He was looking at him, man, I'll stop you. And then looking off like you pose no threat to me, turning his back against to him.
Yep.
Like you a lame.
Yep.
Like everything he was doing was just it was, you could tell it's just how he thought about him. It wasn't like I gotta act this way, I gotta do this. It was like, no, I think I'll stop you. You're too small. I don't gotta respect you, man. Matter of fact, I'll tell you to tell your homeboy to be quiet.
Yep.
That's disrespect. Because
disrespectful.
Because I do that. You don't tell me nothing. Matter of fact, since you're saying that, my nigga gonna keep talking. What's up? What's happening?
Exactly.
I'll talk to him later for being out of pocket. But now, since you told me to say, tell him to be quiet, ain't nobody being quiet. What's good? Yeah. What's going on? Everything about that situation let me know who was who and what was what. But because y'all don't understand body language, a lot of shit y'all miss.
Yep.
The dancing was a no-no.
Yep.
Number one, that's some shit. Inferior monkey would do that.
Yep.
And then he was steady touching Errol, basically trying to get affirmation that he was
affirmation, dog.
Like he was trying to be his friend.
Yep.
Whenever somebody talk to you and they make a body contact with you, they trying to get a rapport with you.
Exactly.
That's why they touch you when they talk. They laugh. They touch you like, oh. They trying.
And then when he talked about money, he said, "Oh, you making that big money." And here's the thing: Bob Arum emasculated Bud in front of Earl, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of niggas missed this shit. Ross didn't miss it, but a lot of niggas miss it. Bob Arum said, man, at one point I was gonna sign Errol Spence, basically saying, Bud, you were the backup plan.
You the backup,
and
man.
A lot of niggas didn't catch that shit, dog.
Right,
they didn't fucking get. Why would your promoter say that? Like, why would he even let that come out of his mouth when he's supposed to be on your side?
Yeah, man. That's what people don't understand. If you pay attention to not necessarily what people say, but what they say and what they do matters, but also when they say it, when they do it, and how they do it matters.
Yeah, that's the impact right there.
You gotta understand why the fuck did Bob Arum say that? He had no reason to say that.
No fucking reason.
But even Bob Arum knew who was the alpha in the room.
Exactly.
And Errol Spence knows, listen, at the end of the day, there's a spot for you.
Yep. Trying to steal Earl from Al while Bud is in the fucking room. Like that if I was Bud, I'd be like, I want to leave Top Rank right then and there.
You know what I'm saying? Because at that moment, you say this.
Yep.
People don't understand there's always a why. People like, that's irrelevant. That doesn't make no sense. People, you have to stop disregarding shit because you don't get it right away. Yep. Everything matters, man.
Every fucking thing.
Everything somebody telling you.
Yep.
Even it matters. They're saying it for a reason. It don't have to be necessarily nefarious. It don't mean that they're plotting against you. They could be going through some inner turmoil, but if you listen, you know what's going on. By what they saying, what they not saying.
The highest levels, man. Every inch of shit matters. Like, that's so disrespectful for your own promoter to not have that level of faith in you that he's talking about. Earl, man, you know, there's still room for you at Top Rank. And then Earl's like, nah, I'm good with Al. Like, come on, man.
That's the equivalent of you and your girl out shopping.
Yep.
And your girl tell you, this guy at work and he wears this. I think that'll look good on you.
Yep.
It sounds like it's harmless.
Yep.
But if she wanted you just to wear that, then she could have just recommended it. But because that nigga on her mind so much, she couldn't even just recommend it without bringing him into the situation.
The end of the conversation.
Because her talking about him makes her feel better.
Yep.
That shit happened to me once. You know what happened, bro? I broke up with that bitch when we got home.
Yeah.
I said, something you said don't really sit right with me. I said, you know what? This not gonna work for me.
Yep.
Cause yeah, she ain't fucking niggas. But the fact that she's talking like that about him means if he don't know what's going on, or if he find out what's going on, I mean, he could get that.
Yeah.
And I don't care what I've been doing behind closed doors. If you're starting to feel like that about another nigga, just be with him.
That's it. Be done with it.
But you ain't gonna be with me and be talking about another nigga like that.
Exactly.
That's how disrespectful that was.
At the highest levels.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, I'm supposed to be promoting you.
Had complete disregard for you, like to be able to just do that.
I'm supposed to be promoting you. But my mind is on. I could have had Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Basically, I fucked that up. I lost him to Al Heyman. Like, damn. Yeah. Think about that, man.
Yeah, and in Ross's situation, his was unique in the sense that she didn't already fuck the guy. But 9 out of 10 times, usually when that dude is on that chick's mind like that, that dude already done fucked.
He already done
fucked. That chick,
or he already done violated, sent her a dick pic or something.
Yeah, that dude already done violated all the way through, and then she's thinking about the dude in that mind, like he already imprinted her to the point to where now she's basically trying to vicariously see him through the person she's with. Like that's fucking crazy. You know, me and Ross, that's why I said we would have done it the same way, different ways. We do the same thing with different consequences. Ross's consequence, he broke up with her as soon as he got home. You know what I would have done? Because Ross know my personality, it's that Haitian in me. Man, I would have broke up with her right there where she told me that shit and walked off. That's just me. Because I would have felt so like, what the fuck did I just hear? Okay, I'm gonna leave you right where you at. I'm gonna leave you right where you standing. with your thought process, and I'm gonna just leave you hanging right there. You can leave and hang right where your thought. And it's not that what Ross did was any. What Ross did it lethal. I'm just saying for me, that's how I would handle the situation.
I did it how I had to do it. Really, exactly. We lived together. We wasn't just we wasn't a boyfriend girlfriend who lived in separate places.
Okay, y'all lived together. Okay. So you had to do it at home. You had to do it at home. I got you.
And I knew it was something wrong when she said. But me, before I speak out my mouth, I take everything in. So the whole time we ride in, I'm like, okay, so how I'm gonna handle this? Am I gonna let this slide?
Yeah.
Am I gonna sit that, or is this something that needs to be addressed harshly? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm putting in my mind how I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And by the time I got to the crib, I knew how I was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how.
And that's different because y'all live together. Yeah, that's different. But in just speaking in hindsight, not knowing about the living part, I probably would have still done it like that because I want you to feel how much you just disrespected me. I want you to feel that and then some. Like I want to add 2 points to that shit because how dare you come out your mouth? And that's why I had a problem with Tyrese when his bitch, me and Ross was equally of the same mind. When his bitch would sit there and talk about a white guy who's dead in front of him. Like he didn't fucking exist.
The thing is, she's a narcissist, and what people don't realize is what they saw there was super high manipulation, super high witchcraft. People who work with witchcraft, what they do, people think it's all motherfuckers just sitting around cutting chickens' heads off, drinking blood and shit. That's like higher level shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It may or may not work, depending on what God wants to happen to that person anyway. But that's another thing. But day-to-day witchcraft ain't nothing but manipulation.
Yep.
Ain't nothing but using your insecurities and shit against you to keep you in a highly suggestive state so they can manipulate you. How does that work? Put it this way: every time Vlad TV has a guest, he normally has black guests, and when he asks some baseline questions, then he immediately goes into trauma.
Yep.
He immediately goes into trauma, shit that they done seen, like somebody die or something like that. Then after he gets them in that state of trauma and breaking them down spiritually and mentally, then he starts asking them pointed questions that they probably wouldn't even answer had they not been put in that suggestive state. So what she's doing is she's breaking him down by using a trigger, which Paul Walker was his friend, right? They were real close, and then telling her that she would fuck his friend. That's what she really wanted.
Exactly.
And a lot of these celebrities, y'all understand, are mentally weak.
Yep.
A lot of these basketball players, a lot of these athletes,
a
lot of these performers are mentally weak.
Yep.
And that's the reason why they're in the place that they're in. They'll be mentally weak to me. I'm better than them. What I'm saying is they haven't got to put it in them to have the discernment or the strength to be like, or the strength to deal with somebody who's fucking with you on that level and not fall victim to be able to sit back and don't say
that. Back to what you said, Ross. God cannot give everybody the strength to be great at everything. There's got to be some deficiencies there.
It got to be. So that's what she was doing when she did it. First of all, most women who feel that way, they won't even say it.
Yep.
And if she finds something attractive, that's natural. Acting on it, masturbating to it, that's something altogether different. She can't help who she finds attractive, but she has no business telling him that I wanted him. I didn't really want you right away. Blase, and elaborating on it, right? Stressing it to the fullest. Like, why are you doing that? Well, you know, this is a trigger point for me.
And Tyrese being Tyrese, if Tyrese did not distribute emasculated tendencies to her, him being Tyrese, just the fact that he's Tyrese alone, she wouldn't even have thought twice to do that. There has been some things that were going on prior to where she saw that it was an opening to where she could say that because he gave her the opening to be able to say it.
He gave her the open. And then another thing, what black men have to realize is people cry and people get emotional. But the way you do it, you could do it, it could be powerful. But the way you do it will open yourself up for these type of attacks. And that type of cry he had about his child should have been done in the dark in a room by himself.
Facts.
Got it out. The type of cry that he should have when he was on that camera, he should have reserved himself and just shedded tears with a stone face.
Yep.
As he was just talking, that would have let people know he's trying to hold it together. He just can't the emotions. But he's like, "Why are you doing this to me?" He looked more like a child than a man going through turmoil.
Yep.
Because that's something the kid would say.
Yep.
Why are you doing this to me? A man knows why you're doing this to him.
Yep.
You're doing this to me because you're bitter and you want to hurt me. I know why you're doing this to me. I don't have to ask you why you're doing this to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And after he did that, now you got bitches trying him. And if he could have took all his power back, he said, "You know what, man? I don't think this is gonna work anymore." On live.
Exactly. On live.
So that's what I would have did in that type of situation where you try to come at me publicly.
Yep.
Because that's not the situation where I'm talking about. It happened to me.
And me and Ross usually give opposite but equally powerful responses on how we deal with the situation. That was the first time we both gave the same response to the situation. We were like, man, we would have left. He should have left that ass on the live.
Because that thing is different from what I said. She didn't purposely try to embarrass me.
Yeah.
Her subconscious spilled over into reality.
Yep.
But she didn't purposely try to embarrass me. It wasn't nobody around when she said that shit.
Exactly.
But this woman on his live with over 10,000 people or more saying this so she could go viral.
Yep.
And saying this to break you down.
And that's exactly what happened. So while she's trying to do that to go viral, you need to equally, if not raise it too, matter of fact, raise the motherfucker too and go viral and G-check her. So it'll be renowned virally in history that when she got out of the pocket, everybody will be talking about it. This chick tried to get out of pocket with Tyrese, and Tyrese checked her.
And Tyrese quit her ass on live.
Yep.
Like, you know what? Since you feel that way, shit, won't you go be with him then? You know what that means? You know what I'm saying? He's dead. Won't you go be with him then? Since you feel that way, you don't need to be here. So far,
and I'm gonna say this, and Ross gonna be like, "Man, that was a great point." This is why when you're in a position of power, you have to understand the responsibility you have. With great power comes great responsibility. Tyrese had a power to where he would have sped up women submitting by him checking that chick. Because by him checking the chick, it would have sent a public message that this type of behavior is not tolerated. And what you would have been seeing is viral videos of women getting out of line and then random dudes just checking them. That's what would have been started happening. It would have become like this new TikTok.
Yeah, but the problem about that is that it would have went viral and it would have been a meme. But the problem about that is, you know why a lot of men, not just black men, but a lot of men, period, have a hard time doing that? Is because outside of just them basically seeing their mother and everybody, society tells men how and when and what level they could discipline their woman.
Facts.
How they could hold court in their household. So you have him sitting back saying, probably thinking in his head, if I check her too crazy, I'm gonna lose an endorsement. He worried about the wrong things. You're a man at the end of the day. Damn that endorsement.
Yep.
Damn that endorsement. So what?
Yep.
At the end of the day, who you are, what you stand for is more important than that endorsement.
Exactly.
So my thing is this: don't ever embarrass me, man. This for family, this for friends, this for anybody.
Period.
This for anybody. I'll go from smiling to cutthroat with you if you embarrass me, man.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't ever try to embarrass me, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For I'm concerned, this friendship could be over with. Don't ever try to embarrass me, bro. Family or not. My brothers know this shit, man. Don't ever try to show me up, dude. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you, man? You know what I mean? I cutthroat quick. Real quick, right? Real quick. Because that's a lack of respect. And it's not a nonchalant, absent-minded lack of respect. That's a cold, calculated lack of respect.
Yeah, because this was to indoctrinate him to be under her leash,
right,
to where she can fully control him. Because if I get him this way, man, I'm gonna have him under my shit for a while. He's gonna be under my spell for a while. So that's why it was witchcraft. She was spelling him.
Yeah.
And now he's under the fucking spell.
Because basically what she was doing is she was trying to devalue him.
Yep.
And you gotta watch the key words people use. People who care about you, they pour into you.
Yep.
They say good things about you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when they have to disagree with you, they do it in a way that there's care done with. It's not cold and calculated.
Exactly.
They care about you. You're not their enemy. But when people don't have your best interests at heart, you know how they do it? They give you underhanded, they give you backhanded compliments.
Yep.
You handsome, but that's a spell.
Yep.
They find out something that you're insecure about. Let's say you don't like the rings around your eyes. But let's say for some reason or not, you one of the motherfuckers that begin the white shit right here every now and then. They'll make little mentions of things they know you're insecure about. And dig. People don't care about you, man.
Yep.
Because they're not taking the consideration to be like, you know what, there's no need for me to say that. I'm not going to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Even when I'm mad, certain shit I don't say to people because I know there's an insecurity there. Mm-hmm. And I don't handle people I care about like I handle my enemies. I just don't. When I'm mad at people I care about, I don't say nothing to them. I don't got shit to say to you, man. I address it. Like, bro, I feel like you disrespecting me. And then if it's anything outside of, you know what, I ain't mean it that way, I apologize. If it's anything else, some type of excuse, I'm obviously you don't understand what you did. Now I'm finna fall back from this before I say some stuff. When I say some shit, it's gonna be very fucked up. And now once I say something, we ain't gonna be able to come back from it. That's me. That's what I was talking about. I'm upset. Because when I say something, we can't come back. Because the shit I'm about to say is gonna be so fucked up, we not gonna be able to come back.
Yep.
I know that.
That's how that shit is. So I'm glad you said that. Because there are some things you just can't come back from.
When I'm dealing with somebody I care about, I don't talk when I'm upset. People at work, people I don't give a fuck about, they make me upset. I say, man, unless they want those be recording y'all type, you know what I mean? Whatever. But if I feel like I could get off, we like in the break room, ain't nobody around, I'll be like, bitch ass nigga, I'll slap you, man. You know what I mean? Like, bro, if we was outside, I'll say some real fucked up shit. I don't care about them. But people I care about, like my homie at the job, he do some goofy shit. I'll be like, man, just shut up talking to me, man. I'm about to go to my car. Because I know I'm about to say some shit that's going, we going to fight it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yep. I know, and we ain't going to come back from it. And that's the thing right there. You got to watch people in the way they word things, man.
And I'm glad you said that because that's how it is with Errol Spence, with friends or foes. Shaq asked Errol Spence, are you and Terence Crawford friends? And Errol Spence said there's a mutual respect, but we're not friends. So at the end of the day, when I step into the ring, I'm going to kill him. He said it just like that, I'm going to kill him. But he said, even if it was my friend, this is the key word here.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting that Errol said that. Even if it was my friend, I'd actually kill my friend even worse.
Right.
Because I feel like you kill your friend right then and there, then it doesn't linger the fact that there was an issue. You're nipping it in the bud. And everybody laughed after Errol said that.
Right.
So there's a message that's being sent out there. Jamel Charlo, you're my friend.
But if you're in my way,
when I get to 154, get your ass up out of there.
Right.
Because even though you're my friend, I'm still gonna kill you too.
Right.
So get your ass out of 154.
Yeah, you can get it. You get it if you're in the way. That's what he said. He said, man, as long as my friends don't get in my way.
Yep.
It be like that, man.
Yeah.
It be like that, man. It's like
that's when y'all gonna really start finding the real Errol Spence fans. I'm telling y'all gonna start weeding out these fake as fuck Errol Spence. Y'all starting to weed them out now with the bud because you see they give you that 50-50 shit. But this is when you really gonna see the fake Errol Spence fans, and Raw's gonna be able to back me up on this one. Is when Errol fights Jamel Charlo. That's when y'all gonna see all these niggas gonna be like, man, Jamel too big for Errol. And that's when y'all gonna start really weeding them motherfuckers out. Because then that's when y'all gonna realize these niggas really want Errol Spence fans, These niggas just want to see Errol lose by any motherfucking. And since it's Jamel Charlo, since Bud lost, oh yeah, I'm telling you, that's the next train they're gonna jump on. They're gonna jump on Mel. Get ready for it.
Yeah, for now on, Errol Spence got haters for life.
Yep.
Because everybody who's been hating on, because it's people that's been hating on him. Everybody who's been hating on him over this Bud shit, because secretly Bud fans don't want this fight to happen. That's what y'all don't understand. Real Bud fans don't want this fight to happen.
No, they don't.
They never wanted the fight to happen.
Because they're the ones that's quiet. They're the only ones that's quiet. If you notice. Remember there was this nigga called Ron? He was talking shit. He used to be on my channel. He used to be on your shit, always popping in. Man, Bud gonna do this shit. And now the fight is announced. This nigga done disappeared, bro.
The real Bud fans don't want this fight to happen because they know it's at the end. It's at the end of the road for Bud.
Yep.
They know that. They know it's at the end of the road for Bud.
Yep.
They can no longer say such as ducking, blah, blah, blah. They have nothing to say. The fight is happening.
Nothing.
And they feel it's hurt because they know it's over with. Yep. Every time Bud fights somebody, where do they go? They either learn how to cook or all of a sudden they become a media expert.
Man, I saw Goodfellas Sports TV. Shout out to him for losing weight and looking a little and looking less better. You know, the diet water's been helping this nigga out. But this nigga changed up, bro. Once the fight got announced, now he ain't doing all that shit. Errol ducking. I ain't hear this nigga talking that talk no more. Now he talking correct. All this shit with boots and this and that. Niggas ain't talking reckless now.
but that tells you something though. Like I said, whether somebody tell you the truth or they lying to you, they always but what I say is people are always telling you the truth, even when they're lying, right? So the fact that all of a sudden all these channels that was anti-Errol Spence, now all of a sudden saying good things about Errol Spence, it's because they never believed that shit to begin with.
Exactly.
They was hating.
Yep.
They were pushing the narrative. They were either hating or they were pushing the narrative they know that their fan base wanted to hear.
Yep. And they had so many roadblocks at that time. Remember, Canelo didn't get exposed yet.
Right.
Manny Pacquiao was still around.
He was still around.
Bud was in the beginning of being at 147. They had a lot of roadblocks that they could hide behind. Now, guess what? Manny Pacquiao got retired by Dennis Ugas. Yes. Canelo got exposed by Dimitri Bivol. And now it's
lost again. Loma really lost 3 times in a row.
Loma lost. Loma lost 3 fucking times in a row. Teofimo Lopez got exposed. Like they got all these roadblocks kind of fucked over to now they have no choice but to say, okay, Terence Crawford's our last standing here.
Right.
But they
don't believe in Terence Crawford. They never believed in Terence Crawford. That's why
they were never sure about that last standing, man.
They never believed it. They never really believed in none of these guys, but they had all of them.
And you could tell with Bud, they made it obvious they didn't believe in Bud because they were already jumping on boots.
Right. They never believed in these guys, but they ain't have to make it obvious they didn't believe in because there was so many of them. Now it was Bud. Now it's Bud by himself. And as soon as they make the fight, Showbiz the adult talking about, you know what, Errol Spence is really a generational talent. And
now Showbiz saying Errol gonna prove how great he is. Nigga, you never talked like that before.
What you mean prove? He already great.
Like, he already great.
Errol's gonna do what he said he was gonna do 5 years ago.
Exactly. You know what Showbiz got humble by? You know what humble Showbiz? And that's why I said Ross picked this nigga apart. But Ross picked him apart not because he was on Ross's radar. It was when this nigga had the unmitigated on audacity to try to put Loma. I know how it is with Ross. When you do that Loma with Floyd, you automatically get on Ross's shit list, man. That shit can get very dicey for you quick. When this nigga did a video where he tried to say Loma was more skilled than Floyd, I said, oh shit. He's forever gonna be fucked by Ross, and that's what happened. Right. And then he came out with a video a few months ago saying, "Man, I have to admit, Loma is not as skilled as Floyd." Like, nigga, you knew that shit all along.
think about having to make a video saying that. That's a loss. That's an L. That you making that video. That's an L.
Yep.
In itself, that you have to make that video. That thought process should never cross your mind. But people think it's about Floyd. My thing is, there's people who compare to Floyd. There's people who should be in the sentence with Floyd. Lomas is not one of them.
Nope. He lost to Orlando Salido, man. I want y'all to understand. Would Floyd ever lose to Orlando Salido? That's the question y'all gotta ask yourself.
Yeah, man. If you're an alcoholic, you getting stopped by Floyd, man. Period. You getting stopped. This nigga is gets stronger. He gets better as the fight prolongs.
Bruh, he said it took the Teofimo Lopez fight. Really? Teofimo Lopez is way better than Orlando Salido. It took Teofimo Lopez fight for you to realize, because he was like, man, Floyd wouldn't have had those same struggles against Teofimo. This is what Showbiz was doing. I always say Showbiz is the new and improved version of D. Jefferson, because D. Jefferson gets such in his feelings that he'll out himself immediately. That point that Ross was talking about earlier. Showbiz is a little bit more sophisticated. He's not gonna get so quick into his feelings. You got to rattle his cage a bit. And that's why I say Ross broke him down systematically, because Ross rattled the cage enough to where he finally got in his feelings. And when he finally did get in his feelings, what did he fucking reveal? That this nigga was doing this shit to get his subs and his views up. And once the subs and the views maximize to the level that it maximized that, okay, now I gotta be the heel. You know how in wrestling, you got the guy, they turn from heel to baby or baby to heel. He had to turn back to fucking heel, man.
Right. The thing is, it's a great finesse, but there's no integrity. I actually applaud it, because it's a great and Machiavellian rules say by any means.
Yeah.
It's actually Machiavellian. But thinking I'm not fully Machiavellian. I have some integrity too.
Yeah.
So I'm not fully but I actually applaud it, because it's great Machiavellian. But as a Machiavellian I have, and I know what you're doing, I still got to use that to get a victory off of you, because I know what you're doing, and I know that you chose wrong for the right reason. You chose wrong
for the right reason.
But I get an easy W off of you by exposing the fact that you chose wrong.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I feel right.
Exposing what you're doing, and building the case against you the whole time, so that when you finally do get exposed, now you see, and this is what people don't understand. Ross ran Showbiz the adult into the wall known as the Real Marlo TV. Real Marlo TV became the wall that he ran him into.
And now it's too late.
It's too late now.
Because
once the Real Marlo TV get a hold of you, that nigga is not gonna let go of his bite.
This is a young lion that's looking for his pride. So
now he's looking for his victory, boy.
He's looking for his pride. You know what I'm saying? So he looking to see your son walking around on the perimeter and to eat your kid. He looking for his, and then you ran for me, right? To a young, hungry lion that tired of watching everybody else get pussy.
Yep.
He's tired of watching everybody else.
And the funny part about it is, the Real Model TV is like, man, he knows got some bodies on him from YouTube. Ross got some bodies on him. I need some bodies too. Now he about to get his body, boy. Woo! He gonna get that thing serious, boy.
He done already caught it.
Woo!
He done already caught it. Apparently, this motherfucker went and got the same. What he don't realize is that's not a haircut style. Dude just get his haircut like that, and it looks like it's a style. He got surgery. He went and got his haircut cut like that.
Yeah, like the style, because the reason why Marlo looks like that. I'm glad you said that. I was about to say it, but you said it before me, is because he had the brain surgery. So that's why the style looks like that. And it's to make his hair look good so that it could basically balance out the whatever he's dealing with. If it's the insecurity he might feel from the scar, or just to give himself that sauce, that swag. Then you turn around and you make this a fucking hairstyle, dude.
You made the hair because this they can just be saying something they like and they just take it. You don't know nothing about this dude at all. You don't know nothing about it. You saw something you like, you just ran with it, and you don't even realize, like, bro, if you was actually watching the dude's channel, you don't know, like, you can't do that.
Yep.
That's gonna be, you can't steal that too. You can't steal what the man say and how the man look.
Yep.
But the nigga say, you know what? this nigga Tom Ross, this nigga at the end of the day, he right, man. I am a fraudulent ass black nigga.
Yep.
But I'm finna fix that. I'm finna mimic. I'm finna mimic the hoodest nigga in boxing TV right now.
Yep.
But you can't take away the slogans he created because he got sauce. So even though his channel ain't 30,000, 40,000, the shit he say become viral. In the small boxing community. It's not hard to go viral in the small boxing community once everybody know you. The shit he's saying going viral. So you try to take that and niggas checking him on his own channel. I was on one of those videos. People's like, bro, you stole that.
Yep. And niggas know when you pulling somebody else's shit because they know where the source came from. To the point now where you got people being interviewed and they're saying niggas walking around saying Spence is the eye collector. Marlo went viral on the shit.
Right.
To where niggas being interviewed. We're talking about trainers and shit being interviewed saying Spence is the eye collector. That was a viral comment. It worked in his favor. So you obviously it's gonna show that you taking the man's sauce.
You taking the man's sauce. And now he's just saying he's still this is the thing. I hate when people are rebellious, man.
Yep.
You get caught up for what you're doing, just stop.
Now and then you turn around and steal Ross's style. Because then you go and smoke a cigar. Everybody know Ross smokes cigars. Yeah. Then you want to chill and make it seem like, well, I know the PBC people and this and that. Man, listen, you making yourself look worse. The best thing to do in those situations is don't say nothing, man. There's power in silence.
Don't say nothing and just change up
and let the shit die down.
Just change up your course of action because you're going in the wrong direction.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Run a shift. Change your course because you're in the wrong course.
Man, me and Ross have perfected the art of clout chasing, man. When you clout chase, there's only one way to you can't avoid it, but there's one way to kind of die down the clout chasing. Just be silent, bro. Right. Because any comment you say, whether you think you're saying a position of strength, you're giving that clout chaser the ability to pick you apart based on your response. Mm-hmm. And if the clout chaser is clever enough based on the way that you respond, they can use that as more ammo to keep breaking your ass down to the point to where they finally get you fucked mentally. And then once you get vulnerable, it's over. It's a wrap. Don't let them find something that is in the secret vault or in the secret chamber that you've been trying to keep away from motherfuckers. Once they get that, it's over. You're done. Exactly. That's just like Champ Side. I've been telling people for years, Champ Side is a cornball and Champ Side is a dick rider. I've been telling people that shit because this nigga sat here and bought the tea that Errol Spence gonna go to 168 and fight Canelo after Terence Crawford. Right. See, this is the problem with niggas. They fans. If you listen to Errol Spence real true mode, Spence told you he going to 154. He's only saying that to sell the fight. At the end of the day, Spence is a prize fighter. And he learned very well from Al Heyman and Floyd, you got to sell a fight. Terence Crawford ain't going to sell this fucking fight, but Spence going to sell it. So Spence saying, yeah, I'm going to go to 168 and I'm going to bulldoze and steamroll Canelo. That's to get you dumb-dumbs to fucking talk if you fall for the fucking tea. So when you did that, I knew you was a dick rider. I knew you was going to do a video. Like I could tell these motherfucking dick riders a mile away. Niggas put too much feelings and attachments because they want interviews and they want to be personal with these fighters. I don't give a fuck about these fighters. I'll tell these fighters to their face the truth. Ross don't give a fuck about these fighters. He'll tell these fighters to their face the fucking truth. Because at the end of the day, these fighters respect you more when you real with them than when you sitting there kissing their ass. Like if I was interviewing Spence, I'd be like, come on, man. You and I know you ain't gonna go no 168. What Canelo got to offer you? If I was interviewing, that's what I would say. What Canelo got to offer you? Then he get smoked by Dimitri Bivol, and then Spence would turn around and laugh and would be like, yeah, you right. I said, come on, man. We know you're going to 154, and then you're gonna be undisputed. That's how you turn the shit.
Right.
But if you sitting there, oh yeah, man, you heard it. You heard the champ, man. After he beat Terence Crawford, he going to 168 and he gonna fight Canelo. That sounds like you got a dick in your fucking mouth. That's what it sounds like to me.
Right. Like it was, technically he could say Errol Spence said that because he said it, but to me it was like it was like, okay, this is fodder. I can use this fodder for attention. Let me hurry up and use this. And there was no insight put to it. It was like Errol Spence said this. That's plastered. That's plastered on the thumbnail with Errol Spence said this. Blah 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 blah. It was no foresight into it. Like, okay, even if he does fight him at this point, that's not a concrete thing. After he fight Terence Crawford, he can change his mind and say, "Nah, I ain't doing. I'm going to 154." Like, there's one thing if he says in the ring after he wants Crawford, "I'll give me Canelo."
Yep.
Yeah, who can argue that? But right now, he can say whatever the fuck he wants to say.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure he just let people know. I think I can beat Canelo. That's it.
And here's the thing: all Canelo had to do is not get beat up by Dimitri Bivol, and then him saying that would have had validity, and nobody would have said nothing against you because Canelo would have still had some cachet. But Canelo lost to Dimitri Bivol. It's like Spence don't gain shit fighting Canelo after Canelo's been exposed 2 times over from a Floyd Mayweather style. At this point, if Errol beats up Canelo, Errol actually would get pounced on by the boxing community for basically being a bully. That's how bad Canelo has fallen as a has-been. Errol would be a fucking bully at this point. Look, there's nothing to gain from this shit.
I'll say you'll have half of the community that'll say that, and half the community will be like, well, this just means that Canelo wasn't what they was making him out to be. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, anything else you want to say, Ross?
Not at all.
Man, it's been real. This live was epic. We appreciate everyone that showed up and showed out, man. Make sure y'all go to At the End of the Day Tom Ross. Subscribe to the channel. Go order the damn book brick by brick, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can sit there and learn some shit about street language, street coding. But here's the thing. Y'all can understand about life because brick by brick can even teach y'all from a boxing standpoint how to open your mind and see the body language behind real niggas and how real niggas operate like an Errol Spence and fake niggas like Terence Crawford and how they operate. Reading that book will help you to decipher the difference between their body language and how you could start seeing this fight from a different standpoint.
Exactly, man. You broke that down so smoothly, bro.
Damn right, have to, man. Yeah, because your book does that. It will give these guys insight on who to pick and the right fighter to pick. So make sure y'all go and get that damn book brick by brick so y'all can learn who to fucking pick for this fight. Because we don't want to see y'all disappear like fucking Terence Crawford. That's what the fuck's gonna happen. It's been real. We appreciate y'all. Peace.